Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. So today we are breaking down a really monumental week from May 2026 that proves one absolutely undeniable fact. AI is no longer just some fun experiment or a neat little pilot program. It has officially become the core, foundational infrastructure of our entire global economy.
Just to anchor this whole conversation right out of the gate, 80%. That is a massive number, right? Well, according to Gartner, over 80% of enterprises have now deployed generative AI-enabled applications in 2026. We have completely crossed the threshold. We're no longer testing the waters. We are officially, firmly, in the era of production-scale deployment.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We're going to start with big tech's trillion-dollar moves, then see how autonomous agents are taking over, followed by some truly staggering breakthroughs in healthcare AI. After that, we'll shift gears to consumer tech and autonomy and wrap the whole shebang up with global safety and regulation.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, Big Tech's trillion-dollar moves, looking at IPOs and the new AI computing ecosystem.
You know, we are literally watching history unfold here with the most anticipated tech debuts ever, and they're all deeply, deeply rooted in AI development and monetization. Back in spring 2026, Anthropic reported a staggering $10.9 billion in revenue, marking their very first profit. Then rolling into summer, SpaceX kicked off its massive IPO roadshow. And now, heading into September, OpenAI is targeting what could be a historic, record-breaking public debut. The public markets have just never seen a concentration of AI cash flow quite like this before.
And to support these kind of mind-blowing valuations, we are witnessing a literal space race for computing power. On one side of the coin, you've got Earth-based AI infrastructure, with Amazon pouring a jaw-dropping $200 billion into massive data centers here on the ground. But on the other side, following Elon Musk's merger of SpaceX and xAI, we're seeing a highly serious push for space-based AI computing. The grand plan is to build solar-powered AI data centers in orbit to take advantage of zero-gravity cooling. Honestly, it sounds like a sci-fi movie, but space-based computing might actually end up being cheaper than trying to keep millions of servers cool here on Earth.
And this perfectly illustrates just how intertwined these giants are becoming. $1.25 billion. That exact figure was found right inside SpaceX's IPO filing. It is their monthly deal with Anthropic for AI computing services. Just pause and think about that for a second. Over $1 billion a month, literally just on computing services. It shows this incredible ecosystem where space operations and advanced AI systems have basically merged into one.
Moving right along to Section 2, Autonomous Agents Take Over. We're going from chatbots to full-on digital workers.
So you might be wondering, what exactly is a computer use agent? Well, it's an AI system that autonomously operates software applications, navigates graphical user interfaces, and knocks out multi-step workflows just like a human would. This is a monumental leap. You aren't just typing a prompt into a chat box anymore and reading the text it spits out. The AI is actually taking over the mouse and keyboard, so to speak, and doing the work.
And the heavy hitters are already making this our everyday reality. Microsoft has officially shipped computer-using AI agents seamlessly integrated across their entire 365 suite. Meanwhile, OpenAI pushed an update that actually allows codecs to autonomously operate macOS systems even while the machine is locked. So yeah, your computer is literally still working while you step away for a coffee break. AI is directly controlling underlying operating systems to get complex enterprise tasks done.
According to some really fascinating analysis by Andreessen Horowitz, these agents are completely dominating the enterprise space. They're coding, they're debugging, they're running complex customer support workflows, and they're powering massive enterprise search tools. But here is the real game changer. Because these agents can click around and navigate interfaces just like you and I do, they are suddenly unlocking the 85% of older legacy enterprise systems that never even had API access in the first place. That's huge.
All right, on to Section 3, Breakthroughs in Healthcare AI. This is the $188 billion revolution by 2030.
This is where the tech gets incredibly personal and, quite frankly, saves lives. We're seeing a staggering 95% accuracy rate in early disease detection using AI predictive diagnostics. We are talking about identifying cancer, cardiovascular issues, and neurological conditions from medical imaging and genetic data long before a patient ever feels a single physical symptom. The sheer scale of precision we have now is totally unprecedented. And the entire patient journey is transforming from top to bottom. Hospital wait times, they're down 15% thanks to AI optimizing patient flow and hospital logistics.
Once you're actually in surgery, AI-enhanced robotics are reducing complications by a massive 40%. Behind the scenes, AI pathology systems are matching the accuracy of top human doctors, but processing the data 100 times faster. And on top of all that, drugs designed entirely by AI have already reached phase 3 clinical trials, which shrinks the development timeline from years down to just months.
To put all of that into perspective financially, by 2030, the healthcare AI market is projected to skyrocket to an astounding $188 billion. It's not just an upgrade, it's an absolute revolution in how medical care is administered, managed, and funded from the ground up.
Let's pivot to Section 4, Consumer Tech and Autonomy. We're talking about AI in your pocket and out on the road.
Let's see how this all builds into our daily routines. At the consumer level, we are watching two fundamentally different bets play out. Apple is leaning heavily into on-device, highly privacy-focused AI. They're banking on a massive spring overhaul of Siri to drive their next big iPhone supercycle. On the flip side, Tesla has cranked their AI spending up to $25 billion, effectively ending production of the Model S and X so they can go all in on their new AI 5 chip, full self-driving, and robotics.
And Tesla definitely isn't alone in this push. Early 2026 is proving to be the absolute turning point for autonomous vehicles. Thanks to Waymo's incredibly reliable deployments and some massive showcases at Auto China 2026, we finally crossed that tricky threshold. We've moved from small, localized pilot testing to commercial-scale, reliable robotaxi rollouts in carefully mapped-out urban areas.
Meanwhile, right on our screens, the actual content we consume has fundamentally changed. AI-generated video and music have hit photorealistic and professional quality standards. Whether you're putting together a marketing presentation for work or just kicking back to watch a movie, human-AI creative collaboration is now just the standard, everyday baseline.
Zooming way out for Section 5, Global Safety and Regulation. Let's look at how we're navigating this highly fragmented compliance landscape.
For developers right now, it is a bit of a Wild West because they're facing a heavily fragmented global rulebook. The EU is officially cracking down, with enforcement on high-risk systems beginning this May. Over in the US, executive orders are leaning heavily into tracking compute thresholds for large-scale training runs. China has set a strict requirement for algorithm transparency and government registration. In the UK, they're advancing a more principles-based approach through Parliament. For literally any company building AI right now, navigating this is a massive, incredibly complex compliance challenge.
So the crucial point is, why is this regulation happening at such a breakneck pace? Well, it's captured perfectly by the International AI Safety Report 2026, which notes that the number of monthly reported AI incidents has increased significantly since 2021. When you have AI controlling everything from locked enterprise computers to robotic surgical arms, it makes total sense that AI trust and safety teams are expanding incredibly fast across the corporate world to prevent harm and ensure fairness.
To manage this new reality, 2026 has really become the year of international cooperation on safety. We've seen major global summits taking place in Paris, alongside massive scientific exchanges in Singapore. It all points to an urgent, unified push for international dialogue to tackle cybersecurity risks and prevent any societal-scale harms before they happen.
And that really brings us full circle to the grand summary of our explainer today. We've talked about trillion-dollar data centers floating in space, software that literally clicks your mouse for you, robotic surgeons saving lives, and governments urgently scrambling to write the laws of the future. AI has firmly transitioned from experimental hype to the core, foundational infrastructure of our world.
So, I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought to chew on. Considering the sheer speed of space-based computing, the rapid rise of digital workers, and a global rulebook that is desperately struggling to keep up, is society truly ready for the reality of 2026? Think about how these cascading technological leaps are going to impact your daily life, your career, and your privacy. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning.